Click subscribe to get daily Manchester United content from passionate Reds, only on All for United.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to All for United. This is the standard Devil's Advocate, but just with a little bit of a twist. We are all female, in case you hadn't noticed. So this is the female version of Devil's Advocate, usually happening midweek. And we're just going to break down the daily goings on at Man United, what's happening, going to get the ladies' views on it. And we're just going to kick straight into it. Amy, how are you doing tonight?
Yeah, not too bad. A bit tired after work, but other than that, pretty good.
Yeah, I know the feeling. Been working as well. I'm also joined by Steph and Nat as well. Ladies, how are we doing today?
Good. Excited.
Really good, thank you.
Fantastic. So I wanted to quickly start with Pogba. Obviously, he's back in training now, which is good to see. I've always been a massive Pogba fan. Always liked him. I just don't really like the whole, the circus that goes around Pogba, which I think everyone can attest to. He's a brilliant footballer, but just too much, off the field stuff, social media stuff. But we're a football channel. We're here to focus on the football and not his, personal life or what he chooses to do with his entourage or personal life. So based on the football, back in training, on the winning team, looks like he's got a really positive attitude. Ralf said some really nice and positive things about him in his presser today, saying that he's looking forward to having him back on the team. He's been positive in training, and it probably won't be, obviously, now. It'll probably be towards the 2 to 3 week mark. I think he said after the next international break that he's going to be coming back. But Ames, happy Pogba's back?
You know what? I am happy he's back in a way, because I think, to be honest, he does fit in Ralph's team. To be honest, the way that he plays the 4-2-2, I think he does fit in there. Long term, I'm not too sure, to be honest with you, because I feel like we're having the same conversation about Pogba every season. Don't get me wrong, he's a great player, but I just think that he doesn't put in the performances that worthy of all this talk to be around him every single season. Now I did see today that he is in talks with PSG, so whether he moves on or not, I don't know, but I think it's around now. He needs to be signing a new contract if he wants to stay, so I do reckon that he is on the way out, unfortunately.
I don't think it'll be January. I think it probably would be summer if he was to leave. But you're completely right. We do have this conversation about Pogba pretty much nearly every 2 months. I know every time I've been on a show, there's been some talk of Pogba or what he's done, or not what he's done, but what his agent has done, or, what he hasn't done on the pitch. So I feel like brilliant player, so talented, but he just hasn't reached, his peak at United, which is unfortunate. But, I've said it before and I'll say it again. Some players just don't fit like different clubs. It's like Lukaku. He's prime example of a really, really top class player, but obviously just didn't work at United. English football is a bit hit and miss. He's okay, but he's not like hitting the heights of what he did when he was abroad. Steph, what are your thoughts on Pogba? Are you happy to see him back, or would you prefer if he was kind of shifted a little bit?
I love Pogba. Like Amy said, I think he's amazing. I think it's such a shame. I wish he's so good that it's such a shame that he can't just be consistent. I feel like he started to kind of drop off a bit and just wasn't putting effort in. Yeah. And I feel like now if he does come back, he's going to probably play amazing and then just go. He'll probably want to show off in front of other teams and stuff and try and get a deal somewhere else, and we'll all be devastated. So yeah, I hope he doesn't go, but I think he will.
Yeah, I think it's always the kind of the shop window thing with Pogba. Yeah. You always think that when he plays well, he's just doing it so he can force a move away. I mean, Project Restart as well, when we were all coming out of the COVID bubble and everything started up again, he was linking up really well with Bruno, and I think that's the best that we've seen of him in my eyes. And obviously the start of the season as well, where he got like 5 assists in 2 games. We all thought, I got on the bandwagon. I thought, wow, he's going to be amazing. This is it. This is our year. Like I do. I get carried away with everything.
I do.
But yeah, I think that's one of my downsides. Until it's mathematically not possible, it's still coming. It's still coming. Nat, what's your take on Pogba? Do you like him? Do you not like him?
I think we've gone through this cycle, like you said, so many times that I've gone from liking him to disliking him. And like you say, it's not always the what he does on the pitch, because actually when he turns up on the pitch, he actually does really well. He's just not on the pitch enough for me.
Yeah.
And, then you might take him a while. So then you have a patch of bad form, and then you get the sprinkle of genius that you can get. And then when he is in that good form, like you say, 5 assists, 2 games, you're like, wow, wow, wow. And then the agent will come out and say, we're not looking to stay at Man United. And you think, well, get lost then. I mean, Ralf, something he said, I mean, I know, probably get onto Ralf, but like he said something, if someone doesn't want to be here, you can't force them. So I think,
Exactly.
this is it, whether he comes back, plays a couple of games, however he plays, it is what it is. Well, we need him to play well. He owes us that much to play well, and if this is it, towards the end, which it probably is, like you say, angling for Paris, angling for this. But you come back to what you said about Lukaku. I think maybe he's better in a league like that. Not everyone can do the Premier League. Some people do the Premier League and then go and struggle in Italy. So,
and there's no shame
he's
in
probably
it.
going to be better.
There's
No,
shame
he's probably
in
going to
it.
be better in a technical league where you do get your time, where you can show off your skills, and good for him, like you said. But I think we need to move past Pogba. He's going to be here, but don't think long term with him. I don't think anyway.
Yeah, I think his time has come up at Manchester United. Although I love him, I think he's a great lad, Paul. He's a good lad, but I just think the whole circus around him and everything that comes with him, he's like an ex that's got baggage. Like it just brings this baggage along with him, and it's just we just need to unload that baggage and kind of take some fresh suitcases on and fill them up the way we want them to play. There's also talk about a 500 grand a week contract, which I don't think anyone should be entitled to, if I'm honest, because it's a huge amount of money. Amy, I'm pretty certain I know your answer. Is he worth it?
No, but I also don't think that's true either, because I feel like if it was about the money, that is a lot of money that he won't get another club. He would have signed the contract ages ago.
Yeah, I agree.
So I think it is about playing football and the club he wants to play for. I don't think it's about the money at all.
Which is admirable, because if someone puts 500 grand in front of me a week, I'd be like, all right, absolutely. Like, I don't have any kind of like shame about it, but obviously I'm not a football player, a master at the craft and everything. He obviously loves the game, and he obviously wants to play. He wants to obviously show how good he can be. And if that's in another league, another team, absolutely fine. I don't think I could see him go to another Premier League club, because I think you'd get the same situation. You'd get the same Pogba, the same inconsistencies, because I think it is, like saying that, I think it is the league rather than the quality of the player, because there's no doubt about the quality of the player. I think it's just he's not a great fit for the Premier League, unfortunately. I wanted to move on quickly to another player, Martial. So there was, again, a lot of circus around this one as well. I feel like Manchester United is just a circus at the minute. But hopefully things are going to turn around, because Martial and Ralf had a private conversation, and apparently it's all resolved now. They're all friends again, and everything's sorted. Amy, do you believe that? Do you think it's all sorted? Who was lying? And what's going on? Because I have no idea.
You know what? It probably is sorted, but I think there might have been a mix-up in translation or whichever. I think Ralf probably meant he wants to move on, so he's not going to play. Yeah. And I think it probably came out the wrong way, to be honest, and that's why Martial probably got angry about it. But look, another player where on his day he's good, but it's majority of the time it's just not good enough, to be honest. After the restart, unbelievable. If we got Martial like that all the time, we'd have absolutely no problem keeping him. But it's the fact that it's almost he's not even half arsed when he's on the pitch, to be honest.
Yeah.
So I do think whether it's true or not, that he did want to be on the squad or didn't want to travel, still time to move on anyway.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. Steph, do you agree? Do you think Martial has a place in the squad? Do you think he suits Ralph's style of play, or do you think he's another one that can kind of get out?
I think he should go. I think, even like Amy said, I think there was just translation issues there. I don't think Ralf would just randomly just attack Martial publicly like that. I know Man United are dramatic, but I don't think they're that dramatic. So yeah, I think it was just a bit of a misunderstanding. I hope so anyway, we don't know. But yeah, I don't think, every time I said this before on a show, I think every time he plays, he always looks sad and angry, and he doesn't have that kind of fight in him, and you want a Man United player to have the fight and want to play. And I don't know, I think even Ralf saying how he doesn't want to play, how is that even in his head? Even if there was a miscommunication, he's heard it somewhere along the line that Martial doesn't want to play. So yeah, so I think he will go, and I think he should go.
Nat, do you agree? Do you think he should go, or do you think he has a place in this team? And does he suit Ralph's kind of, pressing that we haven't seen much of?
I mean, on his day, he probably could do that pressing, when he's on form, he can run at everyone, and, he's a dangerous kind of player. But how many times do we see him on his day? Like Amy says, it's when he decides, it's when he wants. And, you said about sit down, clear the air talks. I don't know, me. I'm not convinced. I don't want to say, I believe this one over this one, but like what Amy said, it's not just something that, Ralf just come in now. It's not just something he's made up, I don't know. I don't think he's just gone online. I don't think Martial has, I just think like we said, it's a mix up. They're just, maybe he sort of says, I feel a bit still sick, and the doctor says he wasn't, that's what I've sort of seen, and things like that. I don't know. I think Ralph's an old school kind of guy as well. He probably thinks that everyone should always want to play, should put their body on the line, even if they're not like 100%. And when Martial's the kind of guy, I don't want to play unless I'm 100%, which, it's fair enough. It's a short career. He obviously does want to go. I'm seeing every day different teams, foreign teams linked to him. So, who knows where he'll go. But that's another one that, it's going to be a busy summer for us, I definitely think, on the outs as well as ins.
Yeah, I think so, definitely. I'm just going to give this comment the recognition it deserves. I don't think there's an issue with language misinterpretation, because Rangnick's English is better than Jamie Carragher's. I really like that. I just thought I had to give that the recognition it deserves. Any excuse to bash a Scouser, and I will take it. Absolutely. So Victoria's Secrets, well done, mate. Well done. I'm just going to go to some of the comments as well. This one from John says, I like Martial a lot as a player, has not fulfilled his potential. He wants to leave, so it's best for all parties if he does. I completely agree. Look, if a player doesn't want to be here, and no matter how good you are, even if you are Ronaldo, say, for example, Ronaldo, GOAT in my eyes, best player in the world. If he doesn't want to be here, off you go then. It doesn't matter who you are, how much you get paid, how many awards you've won, how many trophies you've won. I don't care. If you don't want to play for Man United, on your bike. Because this is Manchester United we're talking about. This is a club that obviously means everything to a lot of people. And to hear that someone that gets paid millions and millions over the year, hundreds of thousands in a week, can't be asked to play for the team that you spend your hard-earned money on, whether it's season tickets, whether it's travel, whether it's Sky subscription, BT subscription, anything, internet. Even if you stream it online, you're still paying for your internet, so you're inadvertently paying for Manchester United to ruin your day. So what is the point in backing a player that is clearly not going to give 100%? That's the whole situation with these player FC, all on Twitter, like Martial FC, Pogba FC. They support the player and not the manager, the player and not the club. That's where things need to cut ties. If someone says they're player FC, I'm like, okay, see you later. Absolutely. I'm not even going to entertain a conversation, because I know it's just going to be fueled with either hate or just misinformation or just pure stupidity. So I think we need to move away from players that really don't want to be here and just get young, hungry players in. Like, obviously, Rashford, I know he's not hitting great heights at the minute, but he loves this club and he clearly wants to be here. People like Greenwood and people like, dare I say it, Donny van de Beek. He clearly wants to be here, otherwise he would have been off. Like, I think we've got hungry players that have a lot of potential that are sitting on the bench. Anthony Elanga, like, I can't wait till he breaks into that first team, because I've been saying it for weeks and weeks and months that Anthony Elanga is going to be a star in this team, and he could absolutely take Martial's space. I have no worries about that, because he puts himself on the line, he puts his body on the line, and he will not quit. So that's my piece on Martial. What is, Amy, thinking about when everyone is fit, like absolutely everyone, there's no injuries, no, like, everyone that's in the squad now, what is your best 11? Like, who should be starting?
De Gea in goal, obviously. I feel like Dalot more so than Wan-Bissaka this season. So Dalot, Lindelof, Varane, Shaw. I know people might be a bit fickly about that, because I know a lot of people have been a bit unimpressed with Shaw this season. Which I do agree on, to be honest with you. But I think all in all, I think he's the better left back to Telles. I would probably go McTominay, Pogba, Bruno, just with the way Cavani is playing at the moment, I feel like he hasn't been right since he came back from injury. So I'd probably play, and same with Rashford as well. So out of the two, I think Sancho is playing slightly better, so I put Sancho in there, and Greenwood and Ronaldo if we're going 4-2-2.
Is that your preferred kind of formation? Do you think we should be pushing forward with that?
To be honest, I think once Pogba is back in there, I feel like it will click a little bit better, because I feel like the midfield is just a little bit out of shape if you're having Fred, McTominay and Matic inside there as well on other games, like we seen the other day. I feel like it might click a little bit better with Pogba in it. Won't see until we actually see it, but I feel like it probably will.
Yeah, I completely agree. It's hard to argue. Steph, who do you think should be starting, and who do you think is like our best starting 11?
I think De Gea, obviously. I think Wan-Bissaka for me. I think he just has the edge. I think he's more, when he's good, again, when he's good, he's good. I think he's more defensive. I think Varane, obviously. Lindelof, not Maguire. I think I just don't like that man. I don't want to be too mean on him, but I'll hold back. I even think Phil Jones should even get a chance there. Luke Shaw, obviously. Greenwood, Pogba. I would say Fred instead of McTominay. I'm sorry, Amy. I think Fred. I think Fred. I don't know. I think he works harder for me anyway. Everyone will probably disagree, but I think, I don't know. Fred's grown on me a lot. Then I think, who's left? I'm trying to go through it in my head. If I'm doing a 4-3-2-1, I would do then Elanga. I think instead of Sancho, I think Rashford's been a bit. I love Rashford so much, and I know he loves Man United so much. But I think as of right now, if I was picking tomorrow, I'd say Elanga instead of Rashford, or Sancho. Then Bruno, and then Ronaldo. Even though I love Cavani, but again, he hasn't been that good since he's been back. So yeah, I'm sorry.
Nat, do you have anything different, or do you kind of agree with the same sentiment? Who do you think is our best 11?
No, I agree with the back five that Amy said, definitely. I think even the midfield, I think I prefer. I do like Fred, and he sort of like came back into it, and you know, you can see sort of how he is like that kind of style of player. But I just think I mean, people might have a go at me for this, but I really love McTominay. I know when Ranić was saying sort of like he could be a next captain, but I do really believe he is that kind of drive, determination, passion. I know that's not just it all, but I just feel like he's got the real Man United DNA in him. And I just, I look at him and I look at like someone like Darren Fletcher, and I feel like, I do really rate McTominay. So I'd go McTominay, Pogba, Bruno, and then probably Elanga has done well, and he probably deserves to play. And I do want to see more like younger kids given a chance, because I feel like a lot of these people who are sort of like, oh, I'm unhappy or I'm going to leave. Is it worth just playing like some like an Elanga over maybe someone that's unhappy because that he's going to give everything, that he's going to sort of die for that shirt? So yeah, probably I'd say Elanga, Ronaldo, and Sancho, because I think he's been. I would have usually said Rashford, but yeah, he's not really been on that top. Well, we haven't seen the best of him this season. Well, since he's come back from the injury.
Yeah. No, I think it's hard to. I think I agree mostly. I think I'd obviously go with De Gea in goal. Back four. I'm a big lover of Dalot. I really like him, but I just think Wan-Bissaka is just, he's more, experienced in the Premier League. He's got more about him. He's more solid defensively, but I feel like Dalot just offers that little bit more going forward. But I've been saying this for ages. If Aaron Wan-Bissaka could only just, work on his forward game a little bit as much as he works on his defensive game, this season he's not been up to scratch at all. But saying that, none of them have. No one in that squad apart from De Gea has been up to scratch at all. Every single game, if you look into it. I'd probably go with Varane and Lindelof. I would pick, at the moment, Telles over Shaw. I would then go with McTominay. I agree with you. I am a big lover of McTominay. I think he dies for the club. He absolutely lives and breathes it. And I think he could genuinely get there if he, just put a little bit more nurturing into him and just help him along the way. But he is a solid player. I really like him, and his attitude is just perfect. But that's not saying I don't like Fred either. I just don't like them together. That's the problem. They're like two, they're like chalk and cheese. I just don't like them together. I like them separately, but not at the same time. And I go with Pogba and Bruno. I would agree. I'd go with Elanga completely. I've been a massive lover of him for a while. It's not because he's Swedish, but I think he's just absolutely class. Sancho and Ronaldo. I think that's 11. I have a tendency to pick more than 11 players on numerous occasions. I just wanted to bring this comment up from Mark as well. So he says, in a presentation to the MUFC hierarchy this month, Rangnick told them that Luke Shaw, Aaron Wan-Bissaka and Harry Maguire were not good enough to play for Man United and would need to be replaced. Shit. That's damning. If that's true, and obviously don't know how true that is, so we're just speculating at the moment, but I mean, he's not wrong. He's not wrong, but that's quite bad to throw your captain's name in there as well. I mean, he's not, by any stretch of the imagination, the greatest captain that Manchester United have ever had. I can think of about 50 more that we've had that would be even better. What do you think about that, Amy?
Oh, I knew Ralf was going to come in and shake things up a little bit. So I was going to expect this, to be honest. I know when Wan-Bissaka came in, he was still young. And I feel like if we had the right coaching staff in at that time he came in, he could be a lot better than he actually is at the moment. Which is terrible. And I know Luke Shaw had a great season last season, but after the Euros, he just hasn't been the same since. Harry Maguire has been too inconsistent more than he has been consistent. Like, he has had great games, but his consistency is over a short period of time, and then he's back at square one again. So another one, I feel like as well, he's not captain material at all. So to be honest, I knew this was going to happen, and I thought there'd be more players there, to be honest with you, from Ralf. But yeah, no, I'm not surprised, to be honest.
It's not good, is it? Steph, what do you think about it? Do you think it's justified, or do you think Ralf is kind of stirring the pot a little bit?
I like that he's stirring the pot. I think they need to wake up. Yeah, I think they've had it too easy. I think even like Wan-Bissaka and Shaw, I think they have the quality. I think Maguire just doesn't have the quality for Man United for me. I think Lindelof is miles better than him. And I used to not like Lindelof a lot, but I think it was Harry Maguire making him look worse than he actually is. So yeah, I agree. I think it's good Ralf is saying that. I would do the same.
It's just music to my ears. I have been saying
I think the issue with these players is they had it way too handy under Ollie. Ollie was more like a best friend and a father more than he was a coach. And I felt like he was the one to put the arm around them when things got tough. And I feel like he wasn't tough enough on them. So the second Ralf came in, they all threw their dummies out of the pram. And they just didn't want to do what Ralf wanted to do. And that's what's happening now, to be honest. And I feel like that's why Martial is kind of coming out now and saying this, that, and another thing. And, you know, it's just, I think certain players think that they're bigger than clubs, and it's not the case at all. The manager should always come before the players all the time. Like, you don't see any of the players standing up to Pep like that. You don't see any players standing up to Klopp like that. It's not on, like, and I just feel like this club is an absolute farce now, to be honest.
Yeah. Nat, do you agree? Do you think that Ralf is absolutely justified in saying that they're not good enough? Or do you think it's kind of a little bit of a, you know, Jose situation, throwing them under the bus? Or do you think he's completely well within his right?
I think he's well within his right. And I think he's come in sort of as that kind of guy who will sort of tear it all up. You know, he has come in 6 months as an interim manager, and, you know, like Amy says, we're seeing a lot of people throw their dummies out the pram, say they want to leave. Well, good, leave, bye. You know, and I feel like we need to be ruthless. We need to be, you know, there's a lot of these players that are on long-term contract on big money for no apparent reason. You know, I really like him as a guy, but, you know, I look at Jesse Lingard. Last summer was the time. Get him out, not in a horrible way, but, you know, he did so well at West Ham. His price tag was up. You know, we know this club, they're after the money and stuff, you know. That was the time. I heard there was a £30 million offer. You know, he's gonna leave for free now. Yeah. And I just feel like, you know, I look at Eric Bailly, another one. I do like him. I want him to do well, but he's injured more than he's not. He's not available. So why have you then given him a long-term contract? You know, things like that infuriate me about this club, because, you know, I like Luke Shaw. I think he showed at Euros. He showed last year. He is good enough, but for whatever reason, it seems like a lot of people came up from that Euros and the England team, not just at the Man United. I think a lot of them in the other teams come back, and you know, obviously they didn't, but for whatever reason, they've just not been on it the same way that they were last year in the Euros. So, you know, it is what it is. But if he's then seeing that from him in training, you know, maybe like what Amy says, the arm on the shoulder, that's what got the best out of Luke Shaw. But you're not going to get that all the time. People aren't going to pamper you and make you feel like you're the best. Sometimes you have to get that from within yourself. And maybe Ralph's not doing that, not sort of cuddling up to him, and he's sort of not showing the best performance. So Ralf says, well, you don't want a player like that. You want a player who's always at a level, always dropping solid 7 out of 10s. And then when you put the arm around and you get the 10 out of 10, you know? So, you know, these players, if he said that, if it is true, this is a wake-up call to them to sort of turn it around in this 6 months. Because for me, if I was someone and this guy came in, Ralf, and you know that he's going to be there long-term, you know he's going to be doing your transfers, you know what I mean? You'd be wanting to impress him just for the 6 months. He's only 6 months for the manager. He's going above the manager soon. He's going to be the long-term planner. But, you know, they don't think like that. And it looks like they're going to face the consequence, maybe, a lot of them.
Absolutely. We've actually got a team here, which is De Gea, Dalot, Lindelof, Varane, Shaw, and a new DM. I was like, who's that? Pogba, Bruno, Sancho, Ronaldo, Elanga. Yeah, I think it's hard to argue with that completely. This new DM.
I don't think we're getting a new DM, though. I don't think we're going to get anyone.
No, I don't think so, especially not in January, which actually leads me into my next question. Do you think we will strengthen in January? And if so, who will it be? Amy?
It's hard to know, to be honest, Jack, because as we do every single transfer window, we're leaving everything to last minute. There's only like 2 weeks left in the transfer window, and it doesn't look like we're making any leeway on any sort of player whatsoever. I know there's been talks to Zakaria, and he's actually cheap enough, to be fair. I'm surprised the price they're letting him go at, but yeah, I think the only people are really talking about at the moment is Zakaria, and to be honest, I wouldn't mind at all, because I think anyone that can play a part in the squad in that midfield will be absolutely perfect.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. Steph, do you agree? Do you think we're going to bring someone in, or do you think it's going to wait until the summer?
I think it's going to be the summer, and I think they should splash out on Declan Rice. I think he would be really suited. I think he would have that fighting kind of spirit that Man United need, and he's obviously a defensive midfielder, so I think it would work.
That's actually funny, Victoria's Secrets, because obviously didn't Jamie Carragher say the other day that no one ever wants to be a fullback. No one wants to be a right back or a left back. You're either a failed winger or a failed centre back. So it just proves, unfortunately, his point again that he only started playing in defence 5 years ago. So it's no surprise really that he's not the best defensively. Nat, who do you think we're going to bring in? Do you think
No, I don't. I think there was talk, like Amy said, I can't even say his name, but, you know, there was talk that Ralf came in with targets and said, you know, set it all up. Someone like Ralf, you know, you can imagine it. I want to get this one. I want to get that. I can imagine it. Them all sitting there, yeah. Oh, we'll back you. Oh, that would be great. Then when it comes down to it, it's no. You have to sell to buy, and obviously we're not going to probably sell anyone this window. You know, we're trying to get rid of Martial, but no one will take him. I think that's why I think it has taken this long, because if someone will cover Martial's wages, then we might see someone in. But then how late is that going to leave it? You know, and this is what I see with it. It's just short term. Yeah, all right, we're going to do it. So that's why, in a way, like what we said about in clearing out, it should just be a full blown clear out. Just get them out and bring in whoever. And I get it, you don't want to leave your squad short, and you might not get the players in, but listen, if they're not good enough, there's no point in them just hanging around really and taking a place. You can call up a youth player. I feel like it's gonna maybe take a bit longer, you know. Now I feel like I felt we were halfway there with Ollie, but you know, maybe we weren't, and I feel it's going to take a change from up the top to affect what's on the grass, definitely. Anyway.
Yeah, I think so. And I think obviously Ralf going into that consultancy or role is the start of that journey. But like you said, Ralf could have came in when Ollie was here. We're no better now than when we were when Ollie was here. And I know people are going to absolutely cut my head off for saying that, but it's fucking true. It's true. This time last season, we were top of the league. And now look where we are. I'm shitting myself about Brentford tomorrow. Like what is life? Like what? Like why is this happening? I can't get my head around it. But you know, Ollie's gone. We need to move on from talking about Ollie to talking about Ralf, and then talking about the new manager in the summer, who will hopefully come in, be better, have, you know, good tactics that suit the players that we have, build around them, and then we're going to win the league next year. That's just it. I've got a comment here that said, would Ralf change the captain soon? I mean, he's not been playing Maguire. I know he had that injury, but obviously his supposed comments about Harry Maguire not being good enough now. Amy, would you change it? And who would you change it to?
I would change it, but I don't know if Ralf will change it mid-season officially. To be honest, Bruno or Ronaldo for me. Like, both of them are leaders on and off the pitch, to be honest. De Gea even, yeah. To be fair, I don't really like goalkeepers being captains. I don't know why, even though De Gea is so worthy of it, don't get me wrong. But I prefer an out player to be captain, to be honest. I think either Bruno, Ronaldo, to be honest, they're both captains. They don't even need the airbands. They act like captains anyway. But yeah, either one of them would do for me. But I don't think Ralf would do it mid-season officially, to be honest with you. But definitely next season, whatever manager it is, they'll definitely change it, I'd say.
There's a comment here as well. It says, let's not forget Pep wanted to sign Maguire when he joined us, but he didn't think he was worth 80 million. He was right. He's not even worth 8 million, in my opinion. But that's a question for another day. I'm just going to go through some of the comments before we move on. I just wanted to quickly touch on Brentford moving forward, because I know Grant did a really good interview at opposition preview, that I think the last 10 minutes were a bit skew-iff today, and I think the predictions got lost in that technical issue. So I was going to go around and ask you ladies kind of what you were going to think about the Brentford game and if you had any score predictions, but we'll just go to some of the comments first, because I've been neglecting you guys tonight. I apologise for that. I think Maguire is a good player, but the captaincy has not helped him. Man United is a beast, best club in the world. I agree. Obviously, we're the best club in the world, but at the minute, we're not a beast. We need to settle that down a little bit. Lee says, time for sentiment to be gone. Wan-Bissaka, Jones, Shaw, Maguire, Fred, Matic, McTominay, Martial, Lingard, etc. They all need to be replaced. That's a long
list. I don't think we can get rid of our whole midfield just yet.
That's a very long list. And also, don't put Jones in that same bracket. All right, he had a killer game when he played the other week, so do not put Jones in that bracket and give him some respect that he deserves, Sir Jones. But no, that's a very long list. But I do agree with the concept and the principle of it. The sentiment does need to be gone. If you're not good enough, off you go. That's just it. Stuart says, it's easy to say players aren't good enough, but short memories forget that Maguire and Lindelof last season produced a strong partnership defensively, backed up by a commanding Henderson. I mean, both of them were better when Henderson was in there. I will admit that, because I feel like they had a better communication with Hendo. But I just don't think Maguire and Lindelof work well together. As was said earlier, Maguire makes Lindelof look bad, and Lindelof is the more complete defender, in my opinion.
Well,
shoot me for that, I do not give a shit. But yeah,
Varane is an upgrade on Maguire. You know,
exactly. And look how much more competent he looks. Look how much more competent he looks with an actual defender next to him and not a kitchen appliance. Sorry. His best part was Juice. Oh, that's just a different comment. I've said Hydra. Yep, that he's also linked as well. Zakaria coming in. I remember a few years ago, Smalling and Lindelof was a decent partnership. Bring him back. Bring back Mike. Bring back Mike Smalling. That's all I can say. We've got a comment here that said Declan Rice is cash money as well. I do like Rice. I think he would be obviously a massive upgrade on our midfield at the minute. I would just worry about the price tag. Is it going to be another Maguire situation where we overpay for the player and then he doesn't live up to that height? But you know, I love Declan Rice. I think he's really good, but he's a world class. No, he's not a world class player. He has the potential to be world class. But I've said this before and I'll say it again. In the CDM position, you don't need to be world class. You just need to be able to pass the ball. And we unfortunately don't have a CDM that can really pass the ball commandingly and proper command that middle of the park as of yet, which is what we need. So we don't need a world class player. We just need a competent player that can pass and not sideways or backwards, forwards. That'd be great if we could do that. Reece says Lindelof over Maguire. Of course, always. Quickly now, I wanted to go to Brentford. Obviously, just come up this year. They had a flying start. They look to have stalled a little bit, but you know, we are everyone's cup final. Amy, how are you feeling about this match? And do you think that we are going to get a stellar United performance? And are we going to win?
I'm never confident about these games because we always make these teams literally look like prime Barcelona every single time. I won't lie, I'm not that confident. I felt very positive about the first half of the Villa game, but I feel like we down tools after Alanga came off. So the last 20 minutes or so, we kind of just let it go a little bit. I know, like, you can never predict these games anymore because you just never know what's going to happen. I feel like if we do win, it'll be tight. So like a 2-1 or 1-0, you know, that kind of a way. I mean, I think Ivan Toney might cause us a little bit of a problem, but I don't know. I'm not that confident, to be honest, but it's hard to be confident anymore these days, to be honest. I wasn't expecting them to be that good in the first half against Villa. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I'm so nervous as well, which is, like I was saying earlier, it's so stupid and frustrating that this is what it's come to, that you're worried about a newly promoted side. And obviously with the whole Watford thing still in my head, like that is just ingrained into my memory. Like I just don't want that to happen again. And obviously Brentford are a good side. They've got some good players and they could cause us massive problems tomorrow. Steph, how are you feeling about this game and do you think we're going to win?
I think they will win, but I'm not excited for it. I think I feel like every time United score, then we have hope. And then we're all like, oh, it's great. Oh my God, it's fixed. Everything is amazing. Ronaldo, oh my God, this is great. And then Brentford will score and we'll all be shouting at the TV. And then we'll win. We'll get 2-1. I think it'll be 2-1, but I don't think it's going to be easy. I think it's going to be just hard to watch as usual because I just don't trust them anymore. You don't know what you're going to get. Like the Villa game, first half, I was like, okay, oh my God, it's fixed. Everything, this is good. Oh my God, who are these players? Like, wow, they're actually doing their job. They're passing a ball. And then, yeah, well, we know what happened. So, yeah. So, yeah, I think 2-1. But that's me having hope. But part of me is like, I don't know. Yeah. So.
Yeah. Nat, are we going to win? And what's your score prediction?
Yeah, I think we're going to win. I always say we're going to win on every sort of kind of channel. I say we're going to win. So I'm not going to change it now. I do worry, though, because, like you say, even though they're in a, they might not have been on the greatest form, Brentford, recently. But when the big teams come to their ground, they up the game and it's going to be under the lights and all that kind of stuff. But I think they'll probably score first. But I think we'll come back and I think we'll win 3-2.
Nice. Have you got any scorers in there? Who do you think is going to score for us?
I'll say Alanga will score. Ronnie will score.
Nice.
I don't know. McTominay. There you go.
Always. I completely agree. I'm going to actually go with 3-1 United. I'm feeling all right. I think it's going to be a cagey first half. And then I think we'll kind of, although maybe this is me being optimistic, we'll turn on the brakes in the second half, rolling it back to last season, second half FC, just roll it back and we'll absolutely just kill them in the second half, 3-1. And I'll probably go with Elanga, Bruno and Ronaldo. Yeah, I'll go with that. Amy, do you have any scorers? Who do you think is going to score and what's the score going to be?
I'm hoping this Villa game has gotten Bruno in a bit of a role. So I'm going to go Bruno and Ronaldo.
Nice. So you think 2-0? Hang on a sec.
Is it me? Am I meant to be saying that?
No, Amy.
Or is it Amy? Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
Amy, what's the score?
I'm going to go 2-1.
2-1.
Sorry.
No, that's fine. Nice. That's been great. I really, really appreciate you ladies coming on. I'm going to wrap it up there. Kind of gone on 45 minutes now. Thank you for spending the evening with me. Really appreciate it. Obviously, these shows will be, I think, weekly. I think it's going to be around this time every single week, which is great. I'm looking forward to kind of dissecting the club even more every week, and just talking about the club that we love, because that's just what we do here. It's positivity, and that is it. I'm not accepting any negativity anymore. That is it. It's positivity going forward. Next year is our season. We're going to win the lot. I'm just going to come to some of the comments before we sign off with some predictions. We've got one here that says 3-1 against Brentford. We will have too much quality. I really, really hope you're right. 2-1 United tomorrow. Ronaldo penalty winner. We haven't had a penalty in a while. So I would like that. It's United double win. Yep, 2-1 United. We have this. Come on, Reds. There we go. I like it. Second half FC. There we go. Absolutely. John says more like 30-minute FC. I mean, the first 30 minutes against Palace when Ralf really took over sold me absolute dreams. I thought that we were going to, kick on from here. I thought we were going to make a late charge. City were going to stumble and we were going to win it all. But it's not happened that way, unfortunately. Reese says, Head says a 2-2 draw. Hart says a 3-1 win. Ronaldo to score a double in my head. And Hart says Bruno, Ronaldo and Lindelof. I like you. I like you a lot, Reese. Epic show, ladies. Well done. And on that note, I'm going to sign off there. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. Make sure you hit us all up on Twitter as well. We really appreciate it. My Twitter is RachMUFC7. You can catch me talking about United, obviously. I also talk about the NBA because I'm a massive Toronto Raptors fan. So you'll always catch me talking about the NBA as well. Amy, where can we follow you?
Yeah, you can follow me on Twitter and it's UN8.
Nice. Steph, do you want to shout your social out?
Yeah, mine is at Steph Greywind.
Nice. Nat, hit them up.
Yeah, Natalie_17. So yeah, I talk about the men's team and the women's team and sometimes a bit of youth football. So yeah, check me out as well.
Nice. Yeah, really, really good account to follow, everyone, as is everyone. Also, get over and follow All for United because we've got some really good content coming out in the next few days and obviously over the coming weeks as well. We're really starting to build this partnership as well and just, pushing out good content for you guys. So I'm going to end it there. Thank you for everyone for getting in the comments. I really, really appreciate it. It's been great, and I promise next time I'll read some more comments. So sorry about that. But yeah, hit us up, like and subscribe, and we will see you next week. Bye.